Uh-oh. I'm out of coffee. Well, good morning, everybody. It's your favorite captain, Captain Dave. Today, let me redo that because I'm doing my YouTube videos today, too. So, not only am I live, but I'm also recording on my camera. So, do a picture first. I hear it beep, so we're good. And we are... Good part, I can edit this part out on those videos. So... it is recording. So... Well, good morning, everybody. Nobody's on quite yet, so... We'll be able to give it a minute here. Just to give everybody a notice that I am doing the YouTube videos now to let everybody know what the what kind of gear I use, what safety equipment I use, how I launch and unlaunch my boat by myself, and the strategies and stuff like that I'm using. I will be doing some question and answer videos, live videos for you guys soon, and we'll be doing those in the afternoon to where everybody's off of work, probably done with dinner. I'm thinking about maybe about 7, 8 o'clock ish. So we can do a Q&A for you guys. I know I've got a lot of people who ask questions about what I do and how I use it and why. So I figured today what I would do is I would go ahead and I would do a video, both live and on YouTube. I've got that recording now to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So if you are watching this video and it happens to delete, I've noticed that it has already. Even though I put delete setting on never, it still deletes them after like 3-4 months. What you can do is you can go to my YouTube channel. It is just look under Bow to Stern Fishing Tours. That'll definitely get you into the YouTube channel. I mean, if you want my link, I can probably post it on the bottom of this video later on. I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, guys. I do have a crew that is going to be running my social media next year. I'm just waiting on the season to start. So everything's going to be looking a whole lot better. Just like my whole website has been completely rebuilt. So, if you're interested in seeing the new website, go ahead and go to there. It's www.bowtosternfishingtours.com. And I will post that on there. And then, so I guess we'll go ahead and start. I haven't seen anybody on yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm on my main page. So let's see here. So it is beautiful outside. I will admit to that. So let me put that here so I don't accidentally push the button. So I'm getting all my gear on my lap so I don't have to keep on leaning towards the camera and back away from the camera and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, okay, so pretty much people always ask me, what do I use? And then why am I so successful compared to some of the other guides? Well, I would say that 30 plus years of fishing these waters definitely gives me a better, better advantage out here compared to some of the new guys that coming in just now starting to show, trying to be a guide up here or even down in Galveston. I fish it regularly. I mean, I have my bait shop that says, hey, you're out here all the time. You're out here more than every other guide out here. And it's true. I mean, it's not only is it the quality of service that I provide, but it's also the results that I give to my clients. And you can see that in all my reviews, on both Fish Booker, Captain's Experience, Facebook, even on my website. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, that's all I can say is like, I mean, I've tried and errored so much stuff that it's like I've figured everything out to a simple form. So a lot of people say, well, what about the new stuff? Oh, Jeremy's messaging me. What about the new stuff? What about the new stuff? Well, you know, for me, I see it this way. You know, I'll try some new things if I think it might be an advantage, but you know, majority of the stuff that I use, it's all based on my environment. And that's the one thing that I always want to tell everybody is when you are fishing, observe your environment for one, observe your habitat, and observe your baits. Normally, when you look around, your baits are changing throughout the year. So you've got silver sides, you've got shad, you have mullet, you have crab, you have all these different things that migrate through these areas. Now some areas, mind you, that they keep the same bait all the time. So that being said, just keep an eye on what's out there and then just simplify it, you know. I see these people using pink shrimp and pink bait and neon bait and sparkling blue bait. And they're thinking, oh, it's, you know, it's the color of the month, it's the color of the season, or the color of the fish want. It's not that. You know, in my honest opinion and in my experience, because I mean, I can show you, I got a backpack with about, I don't know, 30 different colors of baits, and I haven't used them. The main two baits that I go to, if I'm using artificial, is going to be a silver spoon, a gold spoon, a down south white, and then I'll use a silver, and then I'll also use I'll also have a couple of shads and hard plastics. Now on my hard plastic top waters, on those, the color doesn't matter. For me, it's the white bottom. It's either a white bottom or a silver shiny bottom. That's the only thing I use. You know, and everyone's like, oh, well, you know, the different colors on its back and stuff. It's on the top of the water. The fish aren't on top looking at the bait and say, ooh, look, that color looks pretty neat, I want to bite it. No, because it's sitting on top of the water and fish are underneath going after it. So you have to match that bottom. And then also, yeah, the she dog and the junior and the he. Yeah, the different tones. Now, I will say the different tones in that bait do help. I have learned that. It's all about action. It's the actions that you use on your boat that will, it's the actions that you use on your baits that will make you more successful. Now, a lot of these guys that are artificial users, they'll tell you it's the action. Some will be adamant and say, oh, it's the color, it's the color, it's the color. Well, I understand, yeah, like clarity, water clarity, stuff like that. I understand that. But if you think about this, you have a shad swimming, right? And the shad swimming through the water. And he goes from clean water to murky water. He doesn't change color. He doesn't change shape. So if you keep it simple, and you keep it like the fish that are out there, the baits that are out there, the color of the baits that are out there, and the habitat that they're in, and mimic that, that's how you become more successful. And that's what a lot of guides and a lot of artificial people won't tell you is it's how you advertise your bait to be successful. Going at that, we're going to do my two major rigs. Nala, stay in the yard. My dog. My bird dog. I'm going to give y'all two of my techniques that I use when I fish, 99%, 98% of the time. I use artificials every once in a while, but, you know, I don't need it. You know, everybody, you know, it's... My bait of choice is fresh dead shrimp. The reason why is I can advertise, once again, advertise. I can advertise that dead bait to look like a live shrimp. Saves me money, saves my clients money. That's the biggest thing for me is I want to make it to where my clients can come out here. they spending already $400 to $800 on a trip. And I want to make it to where it's less that they have to worry about, especially a lot of these people that are new. The new people, newbies, they don't know how to throw a live shrimp out there on a hook. Normally they're whipping it too hard, or whipping it the wrong direction, or the water, or when we're using popping corks, the shrimp's in the water before they cast because they got it way back too far and it rips the shrimp off. You're wasting bait. You're wasting a lot of expensive bait, especially during parts of the year where you're only getting 10 shrimp for $20, and it just gets to the point where it gets expensive, guys. So I'm just going to show y'all, if you love live bait, stick with live bait, that's fine. But I'm just going to show you 2 different ways that I do this. So, at that, first thing I want to show y'all is the type of hook I use. So, the type of hook that I use is a Eagle Claw, number 1. I don't use anything bigger than a number 1. I might use one a little bit thicker, like a 1/0. So, this one here, if you can see it, it is the Eagle Claw, number 1. It's a 50 count. Now, what is crucial about this is that right there. 2x long. Now, this is what's important about that, okay? Ooh, poor locust. So, this is what's important about that part. When you're using these set of hooks, they're extra long, which means the shank is twice as long as a normal shank. This is what's key about using dead bait. Or you can also use live bait too on these. So I'll show you. Hey, Adam. So I didn't want to rip a new box open, but I think I do need to replenish my supply box. So I guess I'll open it anyway. And if you can see, I don't know if I can do it that way. There we go. That might make it a little bit better. Yeah, make it a little better. Alright, as you can see, this sucker is... Well, let me do it this way, dummy. It's almost as long as my pinky. So, you see that right there? Now, if you turn it and you look like that, right? You see how it's reset? That is called a recessed hook. Now, the reason why that is recessed is because it acts like a circle hook. So, when you have your shrimp on there, like that, right? And your shrimp is like this. Now, here's the head, here's the tail. You put the shrimp in there and the hook sticks out the bottom, right? What is it doing? It's creating that shrimp to stay long, like a live shrimp. Dead shrimp's bent, live shrimp's long. Okay? So when you got a hook like that, look what happens. Well, I'm trying to get a better view of it. Look what happens when the hook is underneath, right? So anytime that when a fish attacks that shrimp, either to its head or mid-body, which now a lot of people don't understand this. Most fish do not hit the head or the tail of the shrimp. They hit the main body. So if you have your shrimp and that hook is right there, from the tail to the mid-body, when they hit, 90% of the time, this hook is going to hook them. Now, once it does hook into its mouth, that recess acts like a circle hook, and it locks it in. It creates a tension, a twisting tension on there, so that when they're pulling, when you're reeling that fish in and he's fighting you, it's keeping this hook from being able to be pushed out. Now, if you're hard on the fish, or the fish is throwing his head real hard, and it makes that mouth, it rips that mouth open, trout especially, then yes, they can throw the hook. Any hook gets thrown when a fish can throw his head enough to make the hole that it's in wider. So it just pops back out. Now, This helps prevent that, just like a circle hook. So not only do you have the ability of a circle hook, but you also have it to where your shrimp isn't curved, it's naturally straight, and the point of connection where the fish attack is at the midpoint of the body. That's what's key. So that's why I like these hooks. I don't like circle hooks. I definitely don't like treble hooks, because when you gut hook a treble hook into a fish, he's gonna die. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, well, you know, if you leave it in and it passes out. No, it doesn't, guys. It gets hooked. It stays in there. Treble hooks are the worst thing you can use, especially when you have to release a fish. If you got to release a fish and it's got a treble hook gutted in its stomach, a lot of times those other two hooks will hook elsewhere, because when they're trying to burp it up, it hooks to the top of their mouth, hooks the stomach, hooks the tongue, and then when they try and eat something, it won't go down. So treble hooks for me are like the worst thing you can use, especially in saltwater fish and saltwater species, because people don't know how to use them correctly. Freshwater, it's slightly different, because you're going after like perch, smallmouth fish, to where the hook can't really go all the way down in their throat because they're smallmouth. That's why treble hooks are mainly used for that. And then you got the really big treble hooks, you know, for like gar and shark and big monster fish. Different story. Think about your fish when you're doing this. When you're fishing, think about your fish. Be a custodial for the fish as well. So, like I said, there's my hooks. And I'll also put this in the bottom of the video. Now, going from that point, we're going to work our way back to the leader. So, oh, and just thought I forgot. Haha, I almost forgot. My popping cork, okay? I make these just to let y'all know. So, on my popping cork, now if you think about this, it's floating in the water, correct? Now this is for the dead shrimp and live shrimp. When the cork is floating in the water, and the line, if you're going looking down at the bottom of the water, and there is my lead, right? Okay, so the hook is facing this way, right? So if the water is like this, and you pop your cork, right? Your cork is going this way. When a shrimp is twitching in its natural environment, let's say it's trying to run away from a fish, right? Here's its head, here's its head, here's its tail, right? So when it twitches its tail, it makes him go that way, right? To get away from danger. So with my hook, as it goes, the shrimp is like this, the hook comes out like that, right? Here's the tail, main body where the hook is, and the head. If I'm like this, right, and I twitch the cork, what's it doing? It's making the shrimp mimic, the dead shrimp mimic a live shrimp, and it bounces across like a live shrimp, advertising, once again, advertising that dead shrimp as a live shrimp. So that gives you that action. Now, here's a little trick that I've been trying to tell everybody that I use. And when it comes to that trick, is that, you know how these people use these fish bites, right? They're flavored little fiber optic little patches that they break off and they stick them on the hook with their live shrimp. Well, when it comes to those patches, they're scented, right? Okay, so if they're scented and you use that on a live shrimp, here's the one thing that I've noticed. If you're using a dead shrimp, you get the best of both worlds. First, the dead shrimp gives off a scent, so you don't need the fish bites. Don't waste your money on it. And then you can also make it go as a, you can make it also act like a live shrimp, dead shrimp, so you get the best of both worlds on a dead shrimp on that gear. So when you're using that popping cork and you're twitching it, Not only is it dispersing scent, but it's also giving it the attitude of a live shrimp. When that presentation is out there, that's how I'm getting my crucial hits. So fish bait, I don't believe in them. Like if I'm using artificial, okay, maybe. Artificial, I can understand that. You're advertising a scent to a piece of plastic that has no scent. But now, if you soak your plastics in the scent that you have them in, and this is what I've been doing, is on my plastics, if you see in some of the plastic, they got that little liquidy jelly stuff in there. What I've been doing is I would put shrimp juice inside those things, freeze it so the plastic expands, and then I defrost them, and it lets that juice get back into the grains of the plastic, and it works great for plastics. So now, what's up, Gary? So, real quick, the ones I use here, let me see if I can push this down so you can see it. These are 45-pound wire leads. I use 18-inch. This is the brand that I use. So come on, like that. Those are Tsunami 18-inch 45-pound wire leads. I love these things. These are one of the best things that I have used out here. They're cheap, easy to buy. Walmart, you can get them on Walmart, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them over it. I think you can get them at Academy. I think I did. I'm not sure. But Walmart's got tons of these things. I go to like 4 or 5 Walmarts. I buy every one in stock. Springtime, I buy about 50 packs of these at least to help supply through the year. 18-inch leads, they work great. I'm going to put one together to show you how that looks. And then my next thing is, I like 3/8 ounce weights, guys. I'm sorry. Bass casting sinkers, I love them. I mean, the 3/8 is the perfect for my environment. Now, once again, knowing your environment, the types of currents, what's on the floor, things like that are what's key, and understanding on how to be more successful on these waters, especially in my water areas. And I always tell everybody who's experienced fisherman from Freeport to Florida to the East Coast and West Coast, when you come on my boat, act like you don't know a damn thing. Basics, yes, but when it comes to techniques and strategies on fishing these waters, I tell them, forget what you know, let me show you. So 3/8 ounce guys have been the best. Half is a little bit too heavy, quarter's a little bit too light. You don't want that bait moving too fast during the strong currents, but you don't want to be stationary for some parts. Now on low tides, low going currents and tides, yes, a little bit of action is required when you use my rig. Sometimes I tell them do it, sometimes I tell them don't. It just depends. So what I've been buying lately, because I don't make my own and I should, is these guys right here. These are Ozark 5-pack. They're only for $1. You get 5 3/ounce weight sinker weights. Now, if you see the way they look, yeah, that didn't taste too well. So if you see the way they look, it looks like that. That's a sinker weight. See that swivel on top? That turns. That also helps too when it swivel turns, because when this sucker starts going around in the water like that, when you're reeling it in, sometimes that weight will just spin naturally. But I'll show you a reason why that too. Because sometimes when that sucker gets stuck in between an oyster bed or a rock, you can twitch it and it'll kind of work it around as it's stuck in a rock, and it'll twist and it'll come out. How that happens, I don't know. I have yet to have video. Somebody else. Hey, what's up, Alec? So my next thing, pulling one out so everybody knows. As everybody knows, I use swivels. I love swivels. They reduce memory in line dramatically. I love them. I'll never leave them. And all my gear's made with the same one. I use the same size for everything, for my popping corks, for my leads, for my main lines. They all work. Anyway, so my swivels, I use barrel swivels. What's up, Douglas? What's going on, bud? Oh, you come and watch to see what I do on my techniques, huh? So this, and of course, Eagle Claw. It's my main one, guys. I love Eagle Claw. They've been here for generations. I don't mind advertising for them. Not that I am, but Eagle Claw, barrel swivels, number 5s and number 7s are the best. I love these things. So that's the swivel. Well, let me put my hand on. There you go. That's the swivel. Hey, I finally figured out how to make it work. Well, let me turn that. That's the swivel. Easy snap swivel. I love them. So now, like I said, to reduce your memory in your line, right? Swivels are key. I have a lot of people who get a lot of memory in their bait casters because they don't use swivels. So when that, like if that jerk, but let's say you're artificial, the tail wraps around the hook and it just starts spinning and you have it straight tied onto your line. That thing is creating memory in that line. So that memory is spinning, creating memory in that line to where when you start reeling and then you cast and all of a sudden it goes and you get a bird's nest. It's the memory in the line. It's not the way you well, I can't say that either. It's also the way you spool the line onto your reel. Yes, because that creates memory. So a swivel will help reduce that. Now, I will tell you this. Every time my spin casters, my bait casters, I don't care. Well, I did that one the wrong way. Spin casters, bait casters. What I do is, every time I feed... What are we doing here? Come on. There we go. So every time I re-spool my line, I get a swivel, put it under my line, and I put a big weight on there, about a 2-ounce weight. I will cast it as far as I can and reel it in at least, I don't know, 6 times, 7 times. So here we go. I'm going to show you my bottom rig setup. So this is your swivel, your leader, 18-inch leader, my 3/8 weight, and grab that hook again without sticking myself. There we go. Douglas, you should be using this down there where you are too, buddy. This will be, I don't know how successful, ouch, hooks are sharp. Damn, that hurt. I don't know how successful you are down there. I remember you asking on some of my techniques, so I figured, you know, this might be a video for you too. Okay, so to let y'all see what I use on my bottom rig system, this is perfect for everything: flounder, black drum, trout, redfish. I mean, I get really good results with this one on redfish as well. So it's an all-around rig that catches everything, especially trout. When I've got birds working and my corks aren't deep enough, I'll throw a bottom. I will. There's been times where I will throw this booger on the bottom and bounce it across the oyster bed, and dude, these trout will smack the crap out of it, especially on the sand flats. Sand flats and marshes, they work great, especially for redfish. I love running these around the bottoms on grass flats. Love this rig. Damn, my finger hurts now. All right, so I know this video is a little bit long, guys. I'm sorry. But, I mean, technique, I don't care how long it takes to show y'all my techniques. I want y'all to be successful like me. So, if you look, well, there are my swivels. So you have a swivel here, correct? Now the swivel, yes, when you're reeling in, see that? That weight, I'm holding the strings tight, and I'm doing it. It's allowing it to spin, which reduces memory in the line, especially when people use those bottom rigs where you have the bottom has got a weight and there's a line coming out. Well, you got the line coming down with a weight, and then you got a little kicker that has the hook on it. That thing spins a lot. So with that thing, that creates memory in the line. So I'm reducing the memory in the line as maximum as possible. So You have one swivel here, okay, to the weight. Then you have another swivel that's connected to your 18-inch wire lead. So you're getting double the amount of swivel. So this line here, when you're reeling it in, like this is your line going down to your hook, right? Okay, so this is your hook down here. When you got a shrimp on there, that sucker's spinning when you're reeling it in, which creates memory. So that's why I do swivels. Perfect example. I don't know if I can explain it any better than that besides showing you in a pool or something, but that's not going to happen this week. So anyway, so here's my bottom rig up. Swivel, 3/8 weight, 18-inch line to a double long number 1 hook. So that's my rig, like this. There it is. So when this is on the ground, people use chatterweights sometimes. This is your chatterweight, aka chatterweight. This thing goes on the oyster bed or on the floor or something, and you have your shrimp on this end down here, right? Well, if you ever want to, if you're on an oyster bed or a little rocky area or gravel floor, you can kind of twitch your line a little bit, and this will drag across the floor, creating chatter, like a chatterweight. There you go. So that's your line. There's your rig. So hopefully that helps you guys out on that part there for my bottom. Like I said, I showed y'all what I use. Ooh, I almost hooked myself again. I think I'll let this one hang here. So that's your bottom rig. So like I said also, 40, I do 36 and 6 is 40. So I do a 42-inch long cork in my area. Your areas are different. Water depths are different. And Eduardo, your water depths are different. Now, to the cork part, like I'm going to tell you right now, on the corks, I do 2 different types of techniques on my corks. I would think I should do a separate video on that. I don't know. I think I might. I might actually do a live. What's up, Gary? I think I might do a live demonstration on my cork techniques to give y'all a better understanding on that. Today's just gear. So, yeah. Once again, I'll let everybody see what I use again. So this might be a little better now. So my Tsunami 18-inch 45-pound wire leads. Eagle Claw number 1s, double long. Remember, it's got to say double long. And there's 50 of them. It's like, I think it's like $3 or $4 for 50. That's pretty nice. And I think it's $6.43 for the 1/0. Now, if you need a thicker hook, if you feel more comfortable with a thicker hook, get the 1/0, 1/0. That's 1/0. These, I've caught 40, 50-pound black drum on these ones. And the thing is, it's not, everybody said, well, doesn't open it up. These hooks, that's the reason why I use these hooks. They don't open up. When you have a big fish on the line, it's pulling on the long shank instead of on the hook actually. So it helps and it causes that twist. So it's like a circle hook, so it holds it and locks it in. So there's my leads, there's my weights. Once again, there is my weights, hooks, and then of course my swivels. There you go, guys. So hopefully that lets y'all know what I use. Hope that helps you. And then so these are my wire leads. It's got the swivels on there and the clips down here, quick clips. These are really good. I like them for wire leads, but I do not like them on popping corks. I hate them on popping corks. So sometimes on my poppet corks, I'll actually switch them out. I'll cut it. Well, if I buy some, I'll cut it and switch to the swivels, back to the number 5 or number 7 swivels. But since I make my own now, which is actually cheaper, I save like $1.08. So it's cheaper in the long run to make my own. I use the proper swivels. So yeah, I mean, that's my gear. I hope that helps you guys. I will be definitely, like I said, this will be on my YouTube page. So if you need a reference to go back on, if you do need to go reference back on there, you can go to my YouTube page, Battle Center Fishing Tours, or you can go to my website. I will be also creating a page specifically for techniques, gear, and stuff like that, and there will be links to my YouTube on that page. There'll be YouTube links on that page too, to where you can reference off of there later on. So I hope that helped you guys. I really do. And hey, if you have any questions, ask me. I'll be happy to answer any question that you need. I believe that everybody should be successful on the water. I don't like guides. You know, a lot of these guides, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, they don't want to tell you their techniques because they think, oh, well, my techniques are my secrets. I don't believe in secrets. I do have some spots that I do keep secret, but majority of my spots, I'm willing to give. You know, if I'm there, just give me 50 yards, 60 yards of space in between. But that's it, guys. That's my gear. It's simple. My gear system is so simple, and it's so successive. Is that the right word? Successful. It's so successful. There we go. So I hope that helps. And yeah, like I said, guys, if y'all need any tips or any advice, ask me. I'm an open book, guys, when it comes to fishing. I want y'all to be successful as I am and be able to make, you know, bring fish home. I got so many people that says, oh, I came in empty. I didn't catch anything. It's all about the techniques, guys. Presentation, techniques, and rigs. 3 main things you need to know for what you want to do to be successful out there. So you guys have a good day. Have a good weekend. I will be out there tomorrow and Saturday. So if y'all are out on the water and you see me, give me a holler, give me a wave, say, hey, Captain Dave, and I hope to see y'all out there. And if not, y'all be safe, catch a bunch of fish, and y'all have a good tight line.